As you might have guessed, this is the site of the World Trade Center. This is the One World Observatory behind me, and this is actually an amazing place. We're in Liberty Park, which is just above the two memorials. You have the North Pole and the South Pole. They are on the site of the original Twin Towers that fell in 2001. I can only really describe how it makes me feel. There's nothing romantic about so many people dying in such a terrible way, and that is really addressed, I think, on the actual memorials themselves. The memorials, the poles have names. Why do people come here on their holiday to look at a site where something really, really terrible happened? That's baffled me. Coming here today has answered that. It's very interesting when you walk around the park, because there's no anger, for a start. Anything that's going to disturb the peace is outlawed, and rightly so. There are a whole lot of new buildings that have gone up here, not just the One World Observatory, which is behind us. There's even a church going up. It's a Greek Orthodox church. It was the only church that was destroyed. There is a very heavy police presence here, but it's not imposing. There aren't rows and rows of police officers standing with machine guns or anything like that, which is what I thought it would be like. And it's all very tastefully done, and there's two people that have just got up behind me to pose for something. There you go. This is probably the most significant piece of modern history in our lifetimes so far. I'm 37. I was 21 when 9/11 happened, and like most people of my age, I can remember where I was when I heard the news. I'm actually ashamed to tell you that I didn't actually know what the World Trade Center was when I heard about the events unfolding. I didn't see them live on TV. I was actually working at a school. I was working at Abbots Hall School in Stanford-le-Hope, and a friend of mine, a colleague, came up to me. His name was Steve Smith, and he said, "Have you heard about the attacks on the World Trade Center?" And my first reaction was, "Where's the World Trade Center?" Because I was that ignorant. There's still this emptiness inside of me anyway when I see those names, just those names of people that just can't be brought back, and what happened to their families and how their families are still coping with that 16 years later. When you look at the names, they're from so many different cultural backgrounds. I can't understand why anybody would attack the World Trade Center, because this outcome really was inevitable, that the dead would be remembered, the site would be honoured, and out of sheer love something would be built in its place. When Sarah was here,
the whole area was all cordoned off.
This was all still cordoned off.
And the only bit that I can remember is in one corner was just this massive hole. You could just see the escalators going down into the hole.
Oh right, oh dear.
Into the subway.
Because of what happened here on that Tuesday, the 11th of September 2001, the world is a very, very different place to what it was before that event, and I think it changed everybody. It certainly changed me. Age 21, I was quite impressionable, and I just thought the end of the world was coming. It's ironic, really, when you think that 16 years later, this is probably one of the most peaceful places in America. It's certainly one of the most peaceful places in New York. You come out here, and there's all this noise. It's a very noisy city, and there's horns going off all over the place, sirens. It's people are going about their business, and yet here, it's an area of tranquility and white noise. My favourite kind of noise, rushing water. I get very emotional about things, and I get very wrapped up in thoughts about things. So why come here? It helps me understand that things don't last forever. However bad that was here, it didn't last forever, and here we are. 16 years after the event, and it's a very nice place to be indeed. We've actually spent most of the afternoon here. It's an atmosphere of regeneration. So it's not just this building, the One World Observatory behind me that's gone up. There are other buildings that have gone up. There are more buildings that are going up. The church is going up over there. And actually this is a piece of the old building, a piece of art from the old building that was salvaged. It's the Große Kuja Karatide. I think I've said it correctly. If not, I do apologise. Or the sphere in English. You can actually see physically what the attack did. I don't know what that's made from. Is that bronze? I know this is a cliche, but coming here does make me feel hopeful, especially when you look at all the people that are here, and they're people from so many different backgrounds, so many different races and religions. I think a very modern human thing to do is accept that something terrible happened, learn from it and move on, and try and make something better come out of it. And I think that's what the United States of America have succeeded in doing here. I also must congratulate this place on being one of the nicest smelling areas of New York. It's that smell of clean water. Anyway, I shall stop going on and taking in a little bit more of the atmosphere. Goodbye. God bless.